Can slim first leg wins in the opening round be preserved or reversed? The Champions League is back. Welcome to an August 2nd edition of the Champions League Preview Show. I'm Scott Gleba. Second leg action kicks in tomorrow with 3 games. Cruz Azul hosts San Francisco in Mexico City. Toronto FC travels to Tegucigalpa to face Motagua, while Isidro Metapan welcomes the Seattle Sounders to El Salvador. And that's where we'll start. Metapan will face its visitors from the USA at the Cuscatlan Stadium in San Salvador rather than its usual home ground. Seattle won the opener 1-0 before more than 17,000 at Quest Field. Colombian Fredy Montero scored the 60th minute winner when Misael Alfaro failed to handle the long-distance attempt. Montero spoke to CONCACAF TV after the game.
They are very technical players who control the ball very well and make it very difficult for a rival to recover the ball without fouling. It's a characteristic of Central American players. But we got 3 golden points to allow us to go to El Salvador with a 1-goal advantage.
The Sounders tried to take more goals with them to Central America, but additional efforts by Montero and Sana Niase did not find the back of the net. With 102 caps, veteran U.S. goalkeeper Casey Keller is no stranger to big CONCACAF games in Central America. In 2004, he led the U.S. to a 2-0 win over El Salvador at the Cuscatlan. He spoke about the challenge of playing Metapan and visiting San Salvador.
Well, it's always interesting. Last time I played there was about 100 Army guys with machine guns surrounding the field, so that's always a little bit intimidating. But no, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think it's going to be a good time for the for the players to get that experience of that, and they're going to be a good team down there. We know we got to play better, I think, if we're going to get through this tie.
Metapan has now lost 7 of its last 8 Champions League games and were shut out in 6 of those 7 defeats. However, that lone win came against American opposition, a 3-2 victory over the Houston Dynamo in El Salvador last October. After 5 straight CCL games in Mexico, Cruz Azul traveled to Panama, where they came away with a narrow 3-2 win over San Francisco in very unpleasant conditions. They meet again in the Estadio Azul with a place in the group stage hanging in the balance. Argentine Emmanuel Villa was the star of the first leg, scoring all 3 of La Maquina's goals, 1 in the 3rd minute, plus 2 others in the second half. He now has 6 career Champions League goals. CONCACAF TV caught up with Villa after the game.
Winning was the most important thing because they made the game very complicated for us. It was quite rough at times. All that prevented us from playing the game our coach always expects from the team. But we calmed down in the second half. We played better, and fortunately the goals followed. They have proved to be a tough opponent, and they'll do their best to revert the result in our home. We just can't allow that to happen.
San Francisco actually went into halftime with a 2-1 lead. Goals from Eduardo Jimenez in the 20th minute and another from Gabriel Torres in the 44th gave the Monks hope for an upset win. San Francisco has only 2 wins in 13 all-time Champions League games and have 5 losses in 5 away games. In its first ever home CCL game, Motagua will face Toronto FC at the Tiburcio Carayes Andino Stadium. The Blue Cyclone dropped a 1-0 decision at BMO Field last Tuesday in Amado Guevara's return to his old stomping ground. American Shad Barrett struck for the game's only goal in the 20th minute, using speed and strength to his advantage. To their credit, Motagua never quit and were unlucky not to come away with at least a tie. It was Toronto's first win and its first goal in 3 all-time Champions League games. Canadian international Dwayne De Rosario gave CONCACAF TV his take on the series.
Oh, we definitely started the game off the way we intended. We pressurized them all over the field. Another day we finish 1 or 2 chances and we go to Honduras with 2 or 3 goals up. Obviously, we know it's a very difficult situation we put ourselves in. Mind you, we did get the win, 1-0, but we know it's very tough going to Central America and playing. We have another very, very tough opponent going into Honduras come next week.
Well, that's all for today. Please join us tomorrow when we preview Wednesday's Champions League matchups. From all of us at the CONCACAF studios, thanks for watching CONCACAF TV.